Question: what are the tax obligations for small businesses in Australia? Answers: small businesses in Australia have several tax obligations that they need to comply with. Here are some of the key tax obligations for small businesses in Australia. Goods and Services Tax, GST, if your small business has an annual turnover of $75,000 or more, $150,000 or more for non-profit organizations, you must register for GST. This means you need to charge GST on the goods and services you sell and pay the GST collected to the Australian Taxation Office, ATO, on a regular basis. Income tax. All small businesses in Australia must pay income tax on their taxable income. The income tax rate depends on the legal structure of the business and the income earned. For example, sole traders and partnerships are taxed at the personal income tax rates, while companies are taxed at a flat rate of 30%. Payroll tax. If your small business pays wages that exceed the threshold set by your state or territory, you may be liable to pay payroll tax. The threshold and tax rates vary by state or territory. Fringe benefits tax, FBT, if your small business provides benefits to employees, such as company cars or free accommodation, you may be liable to pay FBT. The FBT rate is currently 47% and is paid by the employer, not the employee. Superannuation. As an employer, you must contribute to your employees' superannuation funds. The current rate of superannuation contribution is 10%, and this is expected to increase gradually to 12% by 2025. Other taxes. Depending on the nature of your business, you may be liable to pay other taxes, such as excise duty, customs duty, and fuel tax. It is important to note that small businesses in Australia may be eligible for various tax concessions, such as the small business tax offset, immediate asset write-off, and simplified depreciation rules. It is recommended to seek professional advice to ensure compliance with all tax obligations and to take advantage of any available tax concessions. What is the tax rate for small businesses in Australia? The tax rate for small businesses in Australia depends on the annual turnover of the business. For businesses with an annual turnover of less than 50 million Australian dollars, the tax rate is currently 25%. This is a reduction from the previous tax rate of 27.5% for small businesses, which applied to businesses with an annual turnover of less than 25 million Australian dollars. In addition, there are other tax concessions and benefits available for small businesses in Australia, such as the instant asset write-off, simplified depreciation rules, and simplified trading stock rules. It's important to note that there may be additional taxes or fees that small businesses need to pay, such as Goods and Services Tax, GST, or Pay-as-you-go, PAYG, withholding tax on employee wages. It's recommended to consult a tax professional or accountant for more information on the specific tax obligations for small businesses in Australia. How can you lower your taxes? By incorporating yourself and setting up a small business. As self-employed while living in Australia, incorporating yourself and setting up a small business as self-employed can potentially lower your taxes in Australia. Here are some steps you can take. Choose the right business structure. The business structure you choose will have an impact on your tax liability. Consider setting up a company or a trust instead of operating as a sole trader. Claim business expenses. As a self-employed individual, you can claim a range of business expenses such as office rent, equipment, and travel expenses. Keep accurate records of your expenses to ensure you claim everything you are entitled to. Deduct home office expenses. If you work from home, you may be able to claim a portion of your home office expenses such as rent, utilities, and internet costs. Make use of tax deductions. As a small business owner, there are many tax deductions available to you. These include deductions for superannuation contributions, business-related travel, and marketing expenses. Seek professional advice. Tax laws can be complex, and it's important to seek professional advice to ensure you are taking advantage of all available tax breaks. Consider consulting with a tax accountant or financial advisor to help you navigate the tax system and maximize your tax saving.